We are looking at use case diagram. So use case diagram is a graphical representer interaction of elements of a system. The use case is a method used to system analyst clarify organize system requirement. Use case diagram are used at unified modeling language, a standard notation for real world object system. System object include planning, overall validation, hardware testing, debugging, software product, and creating an outline help. The boundary which defines the system of interest is around it. The actor usually involved defined according to a role. The use cases which are specified role played by actor. Relationship between among actor and use cases. So flow chart. So waiter, client, cashier, food order, food. So these are the boundary system. Extend, extend. So this was the use case. So this is a part of UML, unified modeling approach. So to gather requirement of a system, to get outside view of system, external functionality present diagram. So customer order, special order. So this is the use case diagram. So wherever you see the use case diagram, you will write about customer model. So that is about the use case. So coming back where it comes from. So it comes from the system engineering model, system modeling, system simulation. So let's search here. So here we go. So building the analysis model. Analysis model explains the structure of system or application that you are modeling. So analysis, it's one of the last chapters here. If you look here, after testing, it's building analysis model and that data modeling. Analysis model explains the structure of system or application that you are modeling and consists of class diagram and sequence diagram, logical implementation. The analysis model recognizes the main class in the system, contains set of user realization as well class diagram explains static structure. So building the analysis model, data, function, behavior, data, object description, function, behavior, ERD, DFD, STD. Then we have UML or data behavioral function, examine the object and represent, focus on data domain, creates customer reference, automobile, person. So cardinality and multiplicity. So customer place request, generates work order, consists of work task material. So this is an example. Requirement analysis, also known as a requirement, is a process of determining user expectation we modified. User requirement must be quantifiable, relevant, and detailed. Requirement involve frequent communication with system user to determine specific feature expectation, resolution, conflict, if any requirement analysis team demand. And process feasibility study requirement required asset required for system modeling. And process requirement types. Architecture design allocation, requirement negotiation, requirement specification. System document specification, self assessment. Rules of thumb analysis. The use of thumb analysis to examine specific trace data in performance warehousing data tables and performing database use selection rules. Then we have domain analysis. Software domain is and specific common requirement for specific domain. Use multiple objects. Define domain to be collected data models. Requirement domain analysis. General domain analysis. Reuse domain construct, domain structure, domain code, design analysis, requirement implementation, generic code, generic structure. So while O analysis focused on feature and functionality of a single system to a domain functionality varied across family, at least various domain analysis may be distinguished at level of product, at level of prototype, at level of analysis for generator. To ensure reusability of domain product, domain analysts use diverse source of domain knowledge resources. While all domain analysis methods invoke extraction of terminals and manufacture common domain language, such domains model can reusable framework reuse technology. So let me go there. We got lost somewhere in the domain analysis for this chapter. Let's try to read the first page. So building the analysis model, requirement analysis, building analysis model, data relationship, cardinality and multiplicity. So structure of system application that you are modeling consists of class diagram, sequence diagram, function analysis requires the main class contains use class diagram the static structure of system by using stereotype for the functional sequence diagram understand is explaining the flow of events. You can think of analysis model as a foundation of design model, explain logical structure but not how to implement. So building the analysis model, ER diagram, continuity and multiplicity, we can on when automobile make. So rather boring topic that you can see of. Let me see if we can get something from Google here. So building a analysis model, UML. So UML seems to be one of the key again in this chapter. You have requirement analysis, requirement engineering. Let's check that. So requirement engineering, depending on types of system being developed by the organization, and CMU. One is a process of formulating, documenting where software requirement. The first use 1970 line, but came into in the waterfall model. Requirement engineering presented as the first phase. Later, software developed like rational unified process, extreme programming. Scrum assumes that requirement controls toward the requirement inception, requirement identification, requirement analysis, requirement specification, system modeling, requirement management. Requirement engineering tool, blueprint requirement, visual requirement. Let's open it as well. Notes cloud on the system. The requirement spiral, hierarchy, sequence, SN prototyping, requirement validation, trackability, and key points. So this was something in the software engineering. So the hardest single because software precisely no other part of us. So requirement investigation, discovering requirement analysis, process of defining requirement specification, documenting requirement verification is requirement management. The Software Engineering Institute, CMU.